Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Deonte, and I'm back with another video. And today's topic, I want to talk to y'all about how it is to be set apart. Have you ever felt like you were rejected by your own family, abandoned by friends, maybe, or just misunderstood by everybody around you? Anybody in your inner circle, anybody that you may have dealings with, you feel like you just often misunderstood, right? Well, you're not crazy, right? You're not broken. And matter of fact, you're not cursed. What it is that you're anointed. You're anointed, and sometimes your anointing often offends people's demons. Yeah, so a lot of y'all probably wondering why family treats you different, right? Why certain friends might not be around no more. Well, every room you walk in, it can feel like you don't belong. It's not you, it's what's on you, right? And you carry an anointing. You carry an anointing. You carry a light, right? And when you walk into darkness, it convicts people who are still living in the flesh, right? And rejection doesn't mean that you're unworthy. It basically means that God is removing you from what can't go with you to the next level or as you're on your journey, right? And that's just what a lot of us experience. A lot of us experience this in life when you are on a mission, on your journey, on your purpose. You can't take everybody with you. You just can't. Not everybody is equipped to come along on your journey, right? Think about it like this. Even Jesus was rejected in his own hometown, right? Um, a lot of people in his community doubted him. You think about Mark 6:4, right? A prophet is not without honor except in his hometown. If Jesus wasn't accepted by the people closest to him, right? Then what makes you think that your calling will always come with an applause? You get what I'm trying to say? So you got to look at this. Sometimes God uses rejection to redirect you. Sometimes God uses rejection to redirect you. It's meant to protect you, right? And some of those rejections are answers to your prayers. You ever thought about this, right? Say you are overworked at your job, right? And you pray about it, you ask God to put you in a better situation or you say, Lord, I'm tired, I need rest. It might come to pass that it's a bunch of layoffs, or say you may be dismissed from that job or fired for no reason, right? But in about a week or two, or somewhere in the near future, you might come into a way better situation where you have a better schedule, a better job title, better time to manage your time, better time to relax. It might be an all-around better opportunity. But when you went through that, you might have thought that you were rejected, you was getting played, like, oh, all my blood, sweat, and tears I put into this position, all this hard work I put in, and they just gonna do me like that. But that rejection turned into a blessing in disguise because maybe a better opportunity came open. What they say, when one door shuts, a better door opens, another window of opportunity opens for you. And that's just an example of what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people desire elevation, right? But those people were still trying to hold on to people who only knew the old version of themselves. It's like when you are trying to say you go through a spiritual elevation or evolution. You evolve into a different person. You change your way of thinking, right? You might have been an alcoholic. You had drinking buddies, but when you make that decision that, hey, I'm no longer going to drink, I'm no longer going to party, I'm no longer going to be out here in the club, people will still think of you as that old version of yourself. People will start trying to shun you or say, oh, you think you all that because you don't drink no more, you live in a clean life, well, you think you better than me. But that's just what it is. You have evolved, and people are still expecting that older version of yourself. You might have been a whoremonger back in the day, just sleeping around, dipping and dabbing to everybody and everything that come in front of you. And say you meet somebody and they knew about your reputation, they still depended on you to be that person that used to sleep around, that used to move funny like that. They're not looking at, people can change within a couple years. People can, if you're growing, if you're evolving daily, right? So you would tell this person like, well, I'm not that same person no more. Well, how you change? Well, I'm changing every day. But people will try to knock you and try to remind you of the old version of yourself that you was. You might have been a thief, right? You know you're not thieving no more. You know you're not stealing. You repented. You got your life on the right path. And say you, a couple years go by, you come over somebody's house. They don't want to let you in, or they treat you some type of way, thinking that you gonna rob them or steal from them. They trying to remind you of the old version of yourself that you used to be, but you have changed from that. You might have been a convicted felon. People would bring up your criminal past. It's like if you go apply for a job or something, and it might have been 7 years, and it's supposed to, the felony is supposed to not be counted against you, but the job would try to bring up your past and try to use that against you, even though you as a person have grown. That job could be a trigger. That application, or you going through the application or the job interview process, can be a trigger. Like, well, dang, I've changed my life. I'm not this person anymore. And people are not willing to give you the benefit of the doubt because they still depending on you to be that person that you was. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough when you are trying to evolve and move on your purpose. You know, people can't recognize the new anointing that you have on you because they're still tied to your past. You might have had a baby mama or ex-girlfriend, right? They will constantly bring up what happened, who you used to be. And it might be 10, 15 years that it went past, and they still reminiscing on the past, thinking and using your past against you or whatever. But you have grown. You probably ain't the same person at all. Whole mind frame changed. Whole everything about yourself that changed. You probably dressing better, skin and cleared up, looking better. You polished now. But they will constantly try to remind you of that person that you used to be. You might have been a person that wasn't ish. They'll still label you as that person that wasn't ish. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a slap in the face sometimes if you allow it to get under your skin. That's why I say stay on your purpose. Sometimes it's best not to entertain the people of your past. Just let your light shine, and they'll see it. They will see your light shining. You do you. You keep moving on, doing what you got to do. People will see, like, well, dang, he didn't really change. But a lot of problems we have is a lot of people that are evolving. They broadcast it, and you got haters that come up and try to knock you off your square and discourage you from the person that you have, for the person that you have grown to become. They would try to knock that version, that new version of yourself, that reinvented version. They would try to knock it, like, oh, he full of ish. Oh, he'll be back in trouble, or he ain't gonna never be nothing. He gonna be a failure. It's like, a personal example for me. One of my kids' mothers, we hadn't talked in years, so we finally spoke. It had been about 4, maybe 5 years. And when she spoke to me, I guess she thought I was gonna react like the person that she knew 6, 7, 8 years ago. But it was a totally different reaction. She didn't know none of the moves I made, to become a better person. Didn't know about me owning multiple businesses now. I became a whole different person. Just a straight businessman, just focused, locked in. And she thought I was still that broken man that she knew. Still thought I was that struggling person that she knew. Telling me, oh, your life ain't nothing. You ain't doing this. You think your life so this and so that. But that was just the devil or a demon speaking through her, trying to get up under my skin to trigger me to revert back to that person that I used to be. She wanted to hear me go off, but I didn't give her that reaction that she was looking for. And that's what people would do. They would try to trigger you to get a reaction out of you to make you want to knock their head off or whatever, cuss them out. And before you know it, you done lost all self-discipline um if you're not grounded in who you're becoming. You know what I'm trying to say? If you are not standing on purpose and standing on business, and you are still allowing yourself to revert back to the old person, it basically it basically just takes everything that you worked hard to become. It was done in vain. It is just discredits all that. So it's best to not allow people of your past to try to trigger you or let people get under your skin. Basically, that's what I'm saying. But you know, the message I'm trying to give y'all today should be confirmation that you are on the right path, right? And stop begging to be included in rooms that God removed you from. A lot of y'all are still trying to be in the go along, get along culture, go along, get along gangs, trying to be in all these rooms with the quote unquote popular ones, or the ones that are carrying themselves that like they are higher and mighty than everybody, or the elite. You know what I'm saying? And y'all still begging to get in those rooms with these individuals, but God has removed you from these individuals for a reason. It's a reason why you're not in those rooms. So let them do them and you continue on your own path, right? Stop trying to be accepted by people who are spiritually blind to what you carry. Stop trying to be accepted by these people. This it is what it is. No matter I'm a believer that no matter what you do or what you say, people gonna have their own misconceptions about you. No matter what you're doing, you're gonna always have a naysayer or a hater. So stop trying to be accepted by these people who are spiritually blind to the gifts and to the anointing that you carry. Because it's gonna always be a naysayer. It's gonna always be somebody coming from the Raptors trying to drop down and throw you off, or trying to knock what you got going on, trying to discourage you, trying to discredit you, trying to make you feel less than because they insecure about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all got to understand that you were never meant to blend in, but you were meant to stand out. I tell my sons that, like, don't try to fit in, stand out. You were designed to stand apart. I tell this to my sons all the time, because in this generation, a lot of kids try to have you in they groups, or a lot of these kids think it's the popular thing to run with these other kids that's up to no good sometimes, and they start trying to become something that they're not. And I'm like, don't fit in, stand out. Don't fit in, stand out. I tell my sons this all the time, and that's one thing about me. As I was growing up, I stood out. So a lot of the guys I was growing up with end up going to jail, um, just living a life that I didn't desire for myself. And I seen that as I was growing up, like they on the wrong path. I didn't want to be a part of that. I didn't want to be labeled like they were. I didn't want to be the bad boy. I wanted to go out, go to college, get me a career, and do what I had to do. Start a family, get married to one woman, and that was it. These guys, man, and I love my brothers. Some of them have changed their lives for the better. Most of them have changed their lives for the better. But I can remember growing up, it was a young lady in our neighborhood, and a lot of the guys was trying to do things with her, inappropriate things with her, right? And they had her go to the woods. They was telling me about it, like, hey man, come up here. She about to do this, she about to do that. So I'm like, I went and found this girl. Just so happened they ran to get some other boys. So I went and found this girl. We was about 16, 17 years old. I went and found this girl and told her, go home. Go home. I said, these guys don't want nothing out of you but to destroy your reputation, basically. These guys they don't mean you no good. Go home. Do not allow these guys to treat you like this. And what I perceived in her when I looked at this girl, she seemed very intelligent, very smart, and it just didn't feel right to know that these guys were trying to take advantage of her. And I was a young boy. I could have been a horny one and tried to jump on the bandwagon and do all that stuff, but my consciousness wouldn't allow that. Me having sisters wouldn't allow that. Me having a mother wouldn't allow that. And I didn't want that for her. That's not what I wanted for her. So I made her go home. Go home. Take your sister in the house. Y'all go home. Lock that door. Do not let nobody in your house. They talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. I didn't care who got mad. They couldn't beat me. So I didn't care who got mad about nothing. I didn't want that for that girl. And I hope she somehow sees this to let her know I want it better for you. And I hope that was a turning point in your life to never allow anybody in any aspect of life to ever try to take advantage of you at all, especially in that way, in a sexual way. Don't let no man try to sexually take advantage of you. It wasn't cool. It wasn't right. And that's what set me apart. Another thing, I want y'all to stop mourning people who left. Like, I want y'all to start celebrating God. I want y'all to start celebrating God. I want y'all to start celebrating your elevation. You know what I'm saying? You're not being rejected. You were not rejected. You were basically redirected. You protected. And I feel like you were chosen for this. I'm trying to watch the words I say, because I know a lot of people who had this chosen one mentality. I don't too much agree with that philosophy or whatever, but don't shrink your light to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light. I should have said, don't dim your light to make other people comfortable. You understand? Walk boldly in your spiritual anointing. A lot of people kind of tiptoe around. They don't want people to look at them weird, because a lot of people who are walking in the spiritual realm say they not operating on this physical realm. They operate in the spiritual realm, right? A lot of people will look at them weird. But people with strong discernment, people who look beyond the surface of things, a lot of people will look at them as weirdos or just weird, period. It's nothing weird about that. So walk boldly when you are living on your purpose. You understand? Because a lot of people will try to make you feel bad because you offend they spiritual, you offend they demons that they carry on them. You know what I'm saying? They feel convicted when they see you moving different. But you should feel convicted. They should feel convicted. I would tell them you should feel convicted. That means you got some fixing up to do. And we all have room for improvement. We're not perfect. We all can use improvement somewhere in some area of our lives. But I encourage y'all to walk boldly when you walking in your purpose, when you choosing to walk with the Lord. Let them people say what they're going to say. Let them feel how they're going to feel. You just do you. You know what I'm saying? It's not an easy walk. It's not. It's not. But if I just wanted to kind of share this with y'all. And if this message I talked about resonated with any of y'all, make sure you get a video a thumbs up. And leave me some comments about how you felt about this, what I just discussed tonight. And just let me know how you feel. Are you experiencing this? you know, a lot of rejection because you were choosing to walk on a different path. Let me know what y'all think. This your boy Deonte. I'm out. Peace.